has started his assault on so much that Maine people believe in and care about, with a frontal attack on environment and public health safeguards, standards, and laws that aren't the province of any special interest group, although the environmental community and my own organization, the Natural Resources Council of Maine, are occasionally called that, in the same way that Governor LePage referred to the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People as a special interest group. But he picked a fight with the environmental community, and I think well beyond that with the people of the state of Maine. The citizens of Maine, as I know all of you recognize, have a long, proud, and storied history of taking care of this state's natural places and the air that our children breathe and the water that we all drink. It goes well back before Ed Muskie was elected governor in the late 50s, and I expect you had something to do with that too, Ed. Thinking about some of the citizens' accomplishments, the people of Maine created the Allagash Wilderness Waterway. We created the Bigelow Preserve by ballot initiative. We stopped the repeal effort to turn progress under Maine's returnable container legislation, the so-called bottle bill, and there are 4 or 5 efforts to repeal it pending in this session of the legislature. We stopped that in about 1977 or 78. And the vote was 84% against repeal, and the balance about 16% for repeal. That was a true special interest effort to roll back Maine's environmental programs and standards, and it failed miserably. And Governor LePage doesn't seem to have read any of that history, nor do I believe he cares about any of it. So I think in this year, 2011, and if it takes longer, we will have to teach him some new lessons. He has attacked laws, specifically clean air and clean water laws, that are, yes, they're stricter than the federal minimum standards. We don't want our rivers catching on fire. We don't want our asthmatic children breathing. We don't want our asthmatic children breathing dirty air and ending up in hospital emergency rooms or under greater care by their physicians. We don't want our citizens drinking polluted groundwater. And we certainly don't want toxics like lead and mercury and arsenic, about which Maine has some of the leading laws and programs in the country, to get them out of our homes and out of our businesses, to protect the workers that Ed was talking about, and to protect our families and our kids. We don't want those laws rolled back. And that is exactly what Governor LePage and the law firms that seem to be running his administration, Preddy, Flaherty, and Pierce Atwood, that seems to be exactly what it is that they want to do. Maine people have cared deeply about rivers protection, land protection. Every time a Land for Maine's Future bond has come on the ballot, it's been approved by 65% or more. We've restored, or at least begun in a very serious way, restoring the Kennebec River, which runs not very far from here, by taking the Edwards Dam out of Augusta. We've gone further by taking the Fort Halifax Dam out of the Sebastopol River. And there's a tremendous, tremendous river restoration program underway now to restore the Penobscot River, the ancestral homeland of the Penobscot Indian Nation. John Banks, a friend and director of the Penobscot's Natural Resources Management Agency, is here today. We cannot let Paul LePage turn back clean air laws, our clean water laws, our toxics and human health programs that protect the health and well-being of our families and our children. Absolutely can't let him turn back time on restoring Maine's rivers. They're not just environmental assets. These things are the engines of our economy. Angus King used to call Maine's environment our calling card, our ace. And John Baldacci, who governed during some of the toughest economic times this state has seen since the Great Depression, did not attack the environment as a way of trying to enhance economic opportunity. I don't think any of us agreed with either Governor King or Governor Baldaccio and everything they did, but they attempted to be good stewards of the environment while promoting jobs and the economic well-being of the people of the state. That's not where Paul LePage is coming from. I hope each and every one of you will be involved during this legislative session in trying to stop LD1, which is their big kind of omnibus rollback bill, in its tracks. I hope we won't have to run a people's veto on that. I hope we can stop it in its tracks. Hope you'll be there to help protect public health, public safety, labor standards, and if and when we need to run people's vetoes on anything that does make it through the legislature, I hope we'll all be there then too. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Ed, for inviting me.